On the morning of Tuesday, April 8, 2025, the roof of the iconic Jet Set nightclub in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, collapsed during a merengue concert, killing at least 221 people and injuring over 200 more. The tragedy, one of the deadliest in the history of the Caribbean nation, has left the country in mourning and raised pressing questions about the safety of public venues. Among the dead are prominent figures in Dominican culture, sports, and politics, as well as 17 U.S. citizens. Authorities have launched an in-depth investigation into the cause of the disaster as families and communities grapple with the immense loss. Jet Set, a legendary nightclub that has been a cornerstone of Dominican nightlife since 1973, was hosting a packed Monday night concert featuring beloved merengue singer Ruby Perez. Known for its Jet Set Mondays, the venue attracted both locals and international celebrities, making it a cultural landmark. Tickets for the event had sold out, with hundreds of patrons filling the space to enjoy Perez's performance. The concert had been underway for nearly an hour when disaster struck. Footage from the scene shows Perez serenading the crowd moments before the roof began to sway. Disco balls hanging from the ceiling moved ominously, and seconds later, the entire roof caved in, burying the audience under slabs of concrete. Screams and the sound of crashing debris filled the air as chaos erupted. Survivors described the collapse as immediate, leaving little time for escape. It was immediate. Everything fell. I mean, absolutely everything, said survivor Javier Molesha, who managed to escape with his mother. The collapse claimed the lives of several notable figures, including Ruby Perez himself. Initially, reports suggested that Perez had been rescued, but his body was later recovered from the rubble. His daughter, Zulinka, who was performing alongside him, survived and recounted how her father's calm words under the debris helped her stay alive. At his wake, held at the Eduardo Brito National Theater, Perez's signature hat and sunglasses were placed atop his casket as mourners, including President Luis Abinader, paid their respects. Perez, often referred to as the loudest voice in merengue, leaves behind a legacy that has deeply impacted Dominican music and culture. The disaster also claimed the lives of two former Major League Baseball players. Octavio Dotel, a World Series champion with the St. Louis Cardinals in 2011, died en route to the hospital after being pulled from the rubble, while Tony Blanco, a former player for the Washington Nationals, was also killed. Their deaths have sent shockwaves through the sports community, with tributes pouring in from fans and colleagues. Nelcy Cruz, the governor of Monte Cristi province and sister of MLB star Nelson Cruz, was another victim. Cruz heroically called President Abinader from under the rubble to alert him to the tragedy, before succumbing to her injuries at the hospital. Other victims included New York-based fashion designer Martín Polanco, a retired United Nations official, an army captain who left behind 4 young daughters, and 3 employees of Grupo Popular, a leading financial services company. Among those employees were the president of AFP Popular Bank and his wife. The loss of these prominent figures has added to the national grief, with their contributions to various fields being widely remembered and honored. The exact cause of the collapse remains under investigation. Early reports suggest that structural issues may have played a role. Puerto Rican firefighter Joel Figueroa, who assisted in the rescue efforts, noted that the roof appeared to lack rebar, a critical component that reinforces concrete and increases its strength. "We saw concrete slabs in the nightclub without rebar, which affects the building's capability to carry weight," Figueroa explained. The roof had reportedly been supporting heavy equipment, including air conditioning units and generators, which may have contributed to the disaster. Jet Set, which underwent renovations in 2010 and 2015, had been a symbol of Dominican nightlife for nearly 5 decades. Originally opened in 1973, the club relocated to its current location years later, where it continued to host iconic performances by local and international artists. Despite its storied history, questions are now being raised about the frequency and thoroughness of building inspections in the Dominican Republic. It remains unclear when Jet Set was last inspected or whether safety concerns had been previously flagged. The government announced on Thursday that the search for survivors had officially ended after 53 hours of non-stop efforts by rescue teams. All reasonable possibilities of finding more survivors have been exhausted, said emergency authorities. Many of the victims suffered traumatic head injuries and died instantly when the roof collapsed, according to Health Minister Victor Atala. The rescue operation took a significant toll on emergency workers, with Juan Manuel Mendez, director of the Emergency Operations Center, describing it as the most challenging mission of his 20-year career. Relatives of the victims have expressed frustration with the pace of recovery efforts and the identification of bodies. Outside the National Institute of Forensic Pathology, grieving families held up photos of their loved ones while demanding answers. Just as the president brought rescuers from Puerto Rico, he should bring more doctors to speed this up, one woman told local media. The emotional toll on families has been immense, with some still searching for closure. In the aftermath of the tragedy, the Dominican Republic has entered a period of national mourning. Originally declared for 3 days, the mourning period was extended by President Abinader to honor the victims. Vigils and makeshift memorials have appeared across the country with candles, flowers, and photographs placed in memory of those who perished. The tragedy has united the nation in grief, but it has also sparked calls for accountability and reform. Jet Set's owners have pledged full cooperation with authorities. From the very beginning, we have been collaborating fully and transparently with the authorities, said owner Antonio España. Prosecutors visited the site on Thursday to begin their investigation, which is expected to be thorough and far-reaching. Experts and officials, both local and international, are working to determine the exact cause of the collapse and prevent similar disasters in the future. As Santo Domingo mourns, the once vibrant Jet Set nightclub now stands as a somber reminder of the lives lost and the fragility of human safety. The focus remains on honoring the victims and ensuring that their deaths lead to meaningful change. The Dominican Republic has lost not only a cultural icon but also a part of its history, and the nation is determined to ensure that such a tragedy is never repeated.